and making the games.
Yeah, hard.
It'll take me.
I always forget. I have a special thing when I party later, and I always actually do like unranked or some shit. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, oops. And I do it like 5 games in a row. They're like, why aren't we ranked yet? Like, I don't know, man. I thought we're doing okay. So who are you rooting for in the WCS?
Neeb.
Oh yeah, bro. Neeb was such a champ in Kisper. Though I feel like his play is going to be a bit more figured out when it comes to WCS, so I don't think he's going to have the same advantage that he had. I think like part of it was like the meta, the American meta,
Yeah.
wasn't as figured out by the Koreans. So I think that's part of what that was. I mean, not putting like he's definitely a very good player. I'm not underrating him at all. But I think part of his success is just a different meta.
Yeah, definitely.
I guess I'm like pseudo rooting for Dark, but it's weird. Like he's a good Zerg, but I don't like him as a person. It's a weird thing, man. It's like usually I'm not very biased, but I don't know. Like there's nothing really about his play that I've seen that is like that I really like and I want to like adapt to.
I know what you mean. He's very uninspiring.
He's like, yeah,
Playstyle wise.
He's like cardboard, man. It's like it's just plain as shit. Like life was like spectacular, man. He was like absolutely amazing with his Zerglings and all that. Watching his play, I always learned something new about how he was able to be aggressive and macro behind that. Like being aggressive was like it was a play style, not like a cheese. It was really like a he was doing it to give him more space and more time to macro rather than trying to just kill his opponent. I mean, there were definitely times where he was just trying to kill his opponent, but generally he only did that if he saw an opportunity to do so. He was more than happy just to macro behind that. Whereas there's something like I'm not too fond about these like macro zergs. I mean, like Snoot. I like Snoot's character a lot more, but his playstyle again, I don't like that defensive playstyle for Zerg, and it's one that we've seen for such a long time, but it's so vulnerable to so many things.
Yeah. Just by always surrendering the front foot.
Yeah, exactly. Because StarCraft is a game about aggression. I remember the guy who taught me. He was saying that StarCraft is one of the most aggressive games there is, and Koreans are the most aggressive players. That's why they're so good. Like, it was something along those lines, anyway. But I mean, it was interesting because the way he taught me was like macro only. But I would just lose a lot at the lower leagues because I would just get cheesed all the time. And it was very frustrating all the time, because I knew that if it went to late game, I was definitely much better than my opponent. But because aggression is like, I don't know if you play like Hearthstone or any card games like that. Like the aggressive decks just always get like that hand that curves out much better than their opponents, like every time without fail. Whereas like defensive decks, like they're very reliant on just getting those board clears, and that's what it feels like playing defensive in StarCraft. Is it's very dependent on getting that right unit to the right time and scouting correctly, and it's a very skillful style to play. But it is it feels a lot kind of RNG based. It feels like shit. If I didn't scout that DT this one time, then I'm just kind of defaultly dead. Whereas if I just did put on my own aggression, then I'd be kind of safe against that anyway.
Yep.
For those watching, if you ever get supply blocked as Zerg, don't hesitate to build a bunch of overlords. Because the worst thing you can do when you get supply blocked is only build 2 overlords, and then you stockpiled all this larvae, so you build all your units and then your overlord blocked again. Whereas if you just built a lot of overlords while you have all that money and you have all that larvae, when you get unsupply blocked, you're just going to be able to make all your units, and you're not going to have to worry about that again. So it kind of seems bad, and it's not great. I mean, getting supply blocked is kind of bad, but it's kind of making the best out of a bad scenario. Because I guess the ideal thing is to kind of just build overlords like as you need them, but that's not always going to be the case. Hello. Oh no, weakness detected. Oh, you got my queen. Nice. And I think a lot of the game makes sense when you are aggressive, because when you're aggressive, you also get a scout. And so what you follow up with kind of just makes a lot more sense. Oh shit. Best things to do when you're getting DT harass is stay calm. Pull your drones away, minimize your losses. Oh shit. I spoke far too soon. I did not minimize my losses. Damn. There goes all my units. But what do you have at home to defend? You got some sentries, some mortals. What the hell? Okay, well I did lose a lot of drones there, that's unfortunate. Oh no. Oh no. That's not good. Ugh.
You have a full. I see it. GG. I was on 2 bases.
Oh, right, you saw my broodlords. Alright. DT harass, man. I do not like it. I was so lucky that I had that overlord there with the overseer when I was attacking, because if I didn't, then my attack would have been shut down really hard. And I would have lost a lot of roaches.